What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to the channel. I'm Greg, and this is week 3 of my 16-week marathon build in preparation for the Wilmington Marathon coming up on February the 25th, 2023. So let's dive in. To start with, let me give you a synopsis of what happened for the week, and then I'll break it down day by day. So starting out here with a little chart, you'll notice in the black in the center of the screen, this is my Whoop data that breaks down my strain and recovery for the week, a very important piece of training. So this week was my first week with no red recovery days. So my goal has been to work my way into all green recovery days by going to bed a lot earlier and getting better rest as I start to increase my mileage and my intensity. So this week I did a pretty good job. I had 3 days in the green and 4 days in the yellow. Overall strain this week stayed roughly the same. My mileage increased to 55 miles this week, which was about a 13% gain over week 2. That's not bad. Normally a lot of coaches will talk about a 10% gain every other week so you don't increase mileage too quickly to avoid injury. 13% is kind of right in that range. So I felt pretty good about mileage last week and about my recovery. So this week or next week I will try to start picking up the intensity and the volume a little bit more as I go. So for the week, again, 55 miles total, 5,000 calories burned, a little over 8 hours of total training. So let's jump in and let's break it down day by day. So on Monday this week, previously I've been taking Monday off as a rest day. Now that I'm getting more serious about building up as I get closer and closer to the marathon, I'll start to run on Mondays if my body feels good. So this Monday I felt good. I put in an easy 6 miles on the treadmill at about a 10-minute pace. So very easy running, and I followed that up with some light stretching and light lifting. On Tuesday, I got a little bit more serious. I'd planned on going outside and doing a fartlek run, but instead the weather kind of kept me from doing that. It rained, so I came inside on the treadmill. And what I did, I set up a program on my watch where I could run 2 minutes hard and then recover for 5. And when I say hard, it wasn't too hard, but what I turned it into was a progression run for about 8.5 miles. So I would run hard for 2 minutes, and then I would jog easy for 5. And I progressed through by going up 0.1 on the treadmill each time, or each repeat, I should say. So when you see the word fartlek running, if you're new to training, that basically just means, that's a Swedish word, I think, for speed play, where you go out and when you feel good, you run faster, and then after a couple minutes, you back off, let your heart recover, and then you go again. And you'll basically do that for however long you want to work out for, depending on your fitness level. So Tuesday was a pretty good workout. Introduced a little bit of speed back into my legs. Felt pretty good. Wednesday, I woke up with the intention of going out for my midweek long run, but my left hamstring was hurting a little bit for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the weather change, I think, coming along. So I decided to back off and just took it easy on the treadmill again. I did a little bit of walking and light jogging for over 7 miles, but you can see here the average pace is about 11 minutes per mile. So it's a very easy workout. Didn't push myself very hard at all. So heading into Thursday, what was I going to do? Well, same type of deal. I ended up going pretty easy on Thursday as well. Another 6-mile run, nothing to write home about. So just 3 days of easy running, in the week there, which I'd planned to do more, and I'd planned to vary my intensity level, my speed, if you will, more than I did. But, it is what it is. That's the way I felt, so that's the way I took it. Heading into Friday, since I'd gone easy for a couple of days, I wanted to do a better job Friday of getting in some decent mileage at, roughly a 70 to 80% of max heart rate pace. But unfortunately, I got on the treadmill, and 3 miles into my workout, I got a phone call. I had to deal with some issues, so I didn't get back that day to the treadmill and only ended up doing roughly 3.5 miles on Friday. So here's the deal. As I'm heading into the weekend, I already know that my training for the week has been nothing but easy mileage, which isn't necessarily a bad thing early in your training block. But again, if you're going to try to PR like I'm going to try to do in February, I know that it's time for me to start picking up the intensity. So Saturday, I got up and I went to the community college I've talked about before for my 1.3 mile loop up there, and I did hill repeats. Now, this workout went quite well. The hill that I'm running on the loop is right at a half a mile long, just shy of a half a mile or 800 meters. And I'm guessing on the the elevation gain. It's about a 5% grade, I think. I need to check that out. But anyway, if you look at the data here, I averaged roughly a 7-minute per mile pace during the interval session there, during the work session, and then I would recover by running the rest of the loop. I'd come back around the loop and I would run the hill again. And I did that for 5 repeats on the hill going hard for a grand total of about 8.5 miles in that workout. So I got some quality work in on Saturday and I felt good. My legs felt good. I was pretty happy about that. So now I know that I need to hit my long run on Sunday after Saturday. So I got to bed early that night. I got up Sunday and I did my longest run other than the Marine Corps Marathon that I ran on October the 30th. On Sunday, I did a long run of 15 miles, heading again up to the community college, doing several loops and running home. I'd planned on doing some trail running on Sunday, but it had been raining a little bit, so it was muddy. I decided to hit the road again. So workout-wise, it went well. I felt pretty good for most of the run. Again, that's the longest run I've done in 2022 other than the marathon that I ran. I spent the first half of the year, as many of you know, on the Appalachian Trail. So I thru-hiked. It took me about a month to kind of recover from that. And then I started training again for the Marine Corps Marathon, but had some things come up, so I couldn't train as hard as I wanted to there. But that's okay, because now things are back on track. Heading into week 4, the initial plan is to increase my mileage a little bit more this week. Typically, I would back off every 4th week, but I feel good, and I know that right now I need to start putting in a little bit more quality work. So I'm going to increase the mileage next week as I head towards 12 weeks out from the marathon. So if you're wondering, yes, 12 weeks for me is the really sweet spot where I really work hard and get very serious about my diet and my rest. So these first 4 weeks of the 16-week block are getting the body ready again to really do some hard training in that 12-week period. So that's it. Week 3, marathon training build up. I appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you're getting something out of these videos, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And also, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to build a base here of people that are interested in running and training like myself. In particular, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you want to stay in shape as you start to get older. That's kind of what I do. Well, not kind of, that is what I do. I'm very serious about maintaining fitness for life. So if you're into that kind of thing, please consider visiting the channel, watching the other videos that I've already posted. But this series will be 16 videos over 16 weeks, and then it will culminate with the actual marathon in February. So thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening and a wonderful week. Take care. I'll see you next time.